What up, folks? It's Fabio. My friends call me Fobster. Welcome back for another review. Ahead of SDCC and MezcoCon 2022, speculation ran wild as to what the potential 112 Collective exclusive could be. A new member of Rumble Society? A new version of a certain insect character? We'll curl up a finger on that monkey's paw because we got our wish. Here's my review of the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Krig-13 Eradicator Hornet.
And here we have the Krig-13 Eradicator Hornet in the package. As you can see, it is on that shoebox style packaging that they've done for a few releases throughout 2020 and 2021, such as the White Skull Agent, the Black Skull's Death Brigade, the Clan of the Golden Dragon and Crimson Dragon. And now they've gone back to this for this sort of exclusive variant. There's a sticker included as well with the same artwork, so you can paste that somewhere else if you'd like. And you can see some brand new artwork on here of the Krig-13 Eradicator Hornet. Pretty minimal. All you really get on the bottom is all the legalese and the Mezco exclusive sticker. So without further ado, let's crack into this and take a look at Krig-13 the Eradicator Hornet. And here we have Krig-13 the Eradicator Hornet out of the package, so we can take a quick overview of him before we get into the accessories and do some comparisons with the other Krieg figures. For those who are unfamiliar with the Krieg, they're basically creations of the Smiths. They're clones. They go around the galaxy carrying out various missions for whoever pays their price. And there's a total of 13 of them. As we saw in the Krig-13 comic that came with the original Black Spartan, there are 13 of them, 5 Blood Force, 5 Pale Drivers, 2 Murder Hornets, and this Black Spartan Krieg. And as we saw in the Numpty Dumpty music video and heard in the lyrics, and then saw in the announcement trailer for this guy, this is the result of the Murder Hornets going after Krig-13, and he got the upper hand on them and took their equipment, and now he's become the Eradicator Hornet. And now getting into the accessories for Krig-13, the Murder Hornet. These are actually largely done in the exact same colorway as the original Black Spartan, aside from some of the new accessories that were originally on Murder Hornet, now done in the Black Spartan colorway. First, we get this rifle here, which has an extendable buttstock, just like that, and actually a peg hole in the barrel right there, so you can attach this blue blast effect onto there. Fits pretty snugly, looks good. You also get this pistol right here, which does have that same peg hole in the front on the barrel there, and it has a sliding action on top, as well as a removable magazine, so that you can replace it with some of the other small magazines that are included with this right here, which actually go onto his belt as well, and we'll show that when we actually gear him up. You also get the Cyber Scythe accessory, again, same colorway as the original Black Spartan, as well as this effect right here, to which you can slide the Cyber Scythe into and simulate that slash effect. Looking pretty cool. Again, that scythe and the effect here are done in the same colorway as the original. You do get this taser, which holsters onto his back as well with a clip, and also has this yellow effect, again in the same color as the original Black Spartan. Looking cool. And then you also get this knife and sheath accessory, which fit nice and snug right there, just like that. And then actually you can holster that into the side of his boot right there, just like that. And then the pistol does holster right here on his side as well, just like that, looking good. You also get this tray of grenade accessories with a couple of communicators in there as well. You can actually strap these onto some clips on his belt, so we'll show that momentarily. And then originally new for the Murder Hornet, but now being reused for this guy, and now the black colorway, is this energy shield, which clips onto their gauntlet. Next up, you do get the wing pieces that attach to his back via the battery cover. You replace the original cover and strap this on. Again, reused from the Murder Hornet, but now with black wings. It's in that sort of clear black translucent color. It's a little bit more opaque. It's not fully translucent, but these are actually on ball joints, so you can adjust them. The bottom two are attached like that on one ball joint, and then the top single one is there on a ball joint as well, and that's true on both sides. Very cool. You also get his different sets of hands. Not too many compared to a lot of the Rumble Society releases. So right here we do have 2 C-grip hands, which are good for holding the taser or the Cyber Scythe. And you get a couple of more open hands. His right one in here is a little bit more of an open hand, and that's meant for kind of cupping the bottom of the rifle. And then the one over here has the trigger finger. So as I said, you can really only get him holding the rifle in a left-hand position like that, but either way, it does fit on there. And then the final hand is this slightly more open gestural hand like that. And then you get the classic Mezco disc stand with a peg hole right there. It says Krieg Eradicator Hornet on it. Same exact art as the Murder Hornet, but just the one Krieg now instead of the 2, and all in that black colorway as well. And of course, you do get the clear clamp stand and the Mezco Toys 112 Collective accessory bag. So now we'll gear up our Eradicator Hornet here, show you where the accessories go, where you can place them, how to equip him, and where to store his other accessories, and then we'll get into the comparisons. I'm going to do the same accessories as I have on my Murder Hornet, so you can get that one-to-one comparison right next to them. So I did put the C-grip hand on here so he can hold his Cyber Scythe. The gun is in the holster, the knife is in the boot holster over here, and then you take the extra magazines that come in this little tray right here, and those actually attach here in the front through some loops on the belt. And then on the back, you do have these extra clips here. This big one in the middle that sort of hangs a little lower is good for the taser accessory, so that just kind of hangs right there. Find a way to kind of make it sit flush. There you go. And then you do have 2 extra clips right here, which are for the grenade accessories. So I think all of them just about fit the same on here. Can be a little tricky to get it in there, but once it does, it's pretty flush. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall out or anything. That looks good. And then on the back right here, you do have the battery cover. So what I recommend doing is actually taking off the helmet, just so it's a little bit easier to slide that cleanly. And then all you really do is find a sweet spot, slide off that battery cover. You can use any small screwdriver like this to open this up and put in the 3 batteries that are included with this guy. And then you press this switch right here, and it should turn on. But full disclosure, I did get a QC issue on mine that I already emailed Mezco about. Still waiting to hear a response as the recording of this review, but when I tried to remove the head the first time, the entire neck piece came off with it, and it kind of pulled the wires in here and the circuit board where the lights are actually attached there. So my lights do not work, and this constantly happens every time the head comes off, or even if I pull on the helmet a little bit too hard. So that is supposed to sit in there clean, and if you look, if you carefully remove the head, you should be able to see the top of the light coming through the little hole in the neck right there, which is supposed to illuminate the eye when you have the light up feature on, and supposed to have the chest light on, and these 2 lights right here as well, and then these in back. But yeah, I had that unfortunate issue. I waited to open this guy. I had already left the con, or the con was already over, and I wasn't able to obviously go back and get one at the booth, or I would have, but unfortunately I did have that issue, and my light up feature does not work. Hopefully Mezco can get back to me and I can get a replacement, given that this guy is starting to ship out from the website orders already. So that is a little unfortunate, but in the meantime, I can at least show you the rest of him. Once you remove that battery cover, all you got to do is take the wing pieces, slide that on, clips in place, and boom, there you go. You got your wings on the back of him there. And then all you got to do is actually add the helmet back on, starting with the back piece, strap in the front piece, clips together cleanly, and there you go. Next up, on his right gauntlet here, he does have 2 little peg holes right there, and this is actually where you line up where you want to put the shield. The shield itself actually has a couple of different holes right there, so you can find the one that you think fits best. I usually tend to use the middle one there, but if you want it a little bit lower or a little bit more to the side, there's those options as well, but we're going to put it in through the middle hole, and that's how the shield just sort of pegs right in there and fits pretty snug. Again, doesn't feel like it's going to fall off or anything. Next up, we'll bring in the cyber scythe, strap that on to the front of him here, get him to hold it pretty snugly. There is kind of a sweet spot there as well. And with the Eradicator Hornet all geared up, we can actually bring in the original Murder Hornet right here for comparison, so you can see that this is basically just a 1-to-1 recolor reissue palette swap of the Black Spartan Krieg, but with these new Murder Hornet accessories. And next up, we'll bring in the original Black Spartan Krieg right here, so you can see that this is an exact 1-to-1 as far as the actual colorway goes, in terms of the matted parts versus the glossy parts, all in the exact same spots on this one versus the original one here. But is that key difference I was noting is that this original Black Spartan on the right just has that single pouch on the leg, whereas the Eradicator Hornet one here on the left has that full leg strap with the multiple pouches, and then of course the helmet being the other difference. But other than that, the gloss and matte parts are in the exact same place, and the accessories themselves are in the same colorway. Another difference I'm noting right here, actually, for the first time, is that the helmet has a bit more of a gloss to it, including the back piece, whereas the original Black Spartan is more matted. But one thing that they do have different between the 2 of them is actually their ponchos. The new Eradicator Hornet Krieg has this poncho right here with the same kind of glossy black pleather material with a more matted sort of gray for the 13 and the symbols right here on the front clasp, whereas the original Black Spartan had a red 13 and yellow for the symbols there. But other than that, it is the same accessory. That's just one deco difference that I thought was worth noting right there. All right, and just a couple of little odds and ends I did forget to mention that I wanted to just show off here. With this new Eradicator Hornet Krieg, you get the same sticker sheet that you did get with all of the other Krieg. It is that sort of fabric sticker material, so you can actually put these on some of the ponchos for the other Krieg. Obviously, this Krieg already has his number up on his poncho there, so you don't really need to reuse it. But if you have the other Krieg and are a crazy person building the full Krieg army like I am, this will be key for actually putting on all their different ponchos and differentiating them. But taking a look at the sticker sheet here, you have the 13 up there and all the different Krieg name and designation and colors up here. You do have all these different symbols here, maybe denoting different ranks or different medals for different missions or kill counts, things of that nature. Pretty cool. Again, all the Krieg come with this, so it's just nice to have another one there. And then another thing that all the Krieg came with is this other sticker sheet. This is not a fabric sticker, but just a straight up sticker sheet. But given that all the other Krieg were in slightly bigger boxes and this is in that smaller shoebox, this sticker did come like a little bit crinkled in the package, just like that. And then finally, as I noted at the beginning, you do get the sticker with the actual art on it as well. Just an extra sticker, same as that's on the front of the box, but just an extra one in case you want that. Now, removing some of the accessories here, just so we can get into the articulation for the Eradicator Hornet here, I'm going to take the wings off just to make things a little bit easier. And then on this regular back cover piece, I did forget to note that there is a clip on there as well, so you can actually put on the rifle on there. It's honestly a little bit hard to find a way to get it to sit flush and to kind of remain there. You just kind of have to balance it. It is kind of annoying, so I probably won't be using that feature on this guy just because of how loose it is, but you can see that it does technically work, but does require a little bit of fudging to do so. In case you're unfamiliar with these Krieg figures, they all have the same articulation, so if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Removing the helmet real quick, you see that the head is on a ball joint, but as I noted, mine is on there a little tight and tends to pull the neck out with it, but it is technically on a ball joint. There is no articulation on the base of the neck, so he is just kind of looking forward like that. Makes it kind of difficult to get him looking up and down, but he has the helmet on most of the time anyway. Arms do go up and down with a bicep swivel up at the top and double jointed elbows. There's a little bit of rotation in the forearm right there where the glove is strapped on, as well as the classic Mezco ball joints for the wrists there that move up and down and in and out. The shoulder armor can kind of hinder the forward back articulation, but there is a way to actually pull out the armor, and you can see it is on kind of like a joint there, and you can actually get a little bit more range of motion out of that. There is a diaphragm right here in the middle, moves forward and back and side to side pretty well, as well as another ball joint at the base of the waist right there, which rotates and moves in and out. Legs move forward about that much. Not really back too much at all, but you do get a little bit there. It goes side to side as well. There is a thigh swivel. You get double jointed knees, which actually work pretty well. You do get a boot swivel, and then a little bit of pivot there to the ankles. So, final thoughts on the Eradicator Hornet Krig-13. Overall, he's just okay, to be honest. It feels like a weird choice for an exclusive. The Krieg, to begin with, are already not the most desirable characters within Rumble Society, in my opinion, so this feels like a pretty unnecessary addition to your collection unless you are a Mezco completist and do all of the Rumble Society stuff. In that regard, I do think it's very cool to see the Black Spartan story continue and take the equipment and remixing what was already the best of all the Krieg, in my opinion, as far as accessories and uniqueness, like the Murder Hornet, and giving it to us in this really cool black colorway, which has a little bit more versatility, I think was a good choice. But overall, unless you are someone who's into the actual lore of Rumble Society and the Krieg, this does feel like a little bit unnecessary. Unless you really only want one Krieg, then I would say maybe this is the one to get, because again, it has a good mix of the best accessories from the Murder Hornet, but now in this slightly more versatile colorway. I also did have that QC issue on the head, and my light up feature doesn't work, so that did sort of sour my overall thoughts on this guy. I might have liked it more if I was able to get all that to work right out of the gate. I am still waiting for a response on that. But either way, I am trying to complete the full Krieg army, so to me this feels like a necessary addition. But if you're not a psychopath like me who is trying to get all the versions of the Krieg and really build out the lore of the Rumble Society universe, again, this does not feel like a totally necessary addition to your collection. Now, this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive at the Mezco booth, and it did go up for sale on their website. It's now waitlisted, but if you did miss out on this guy, honestly, don't feel too bad. And even though this figure maybe on his own isn't that great, I feel like the overall value of the Krieg in general gets raised for each subsequent release. So having the full army of them, I think overall makes me like each individual one even more.
Thanks for watching my review of the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Krig-13 Eradicator Hornet. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more 112 Collective content like this and my weekly live stream series, Bobster Live, airing Mezco Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks again, guys, and remember, watch the skies.